Mongolia, about 89 million years ago. The desert-like landscape featured sand dunes and limited plant life, probably consisting of shrubs, which suggested a fairly dry climate. Despite the aridity, streams and rivers were present, creating oases that allowed vegetation to flourish and drew in prey animals. Velociraptor. A carnivorous velociraptorid. In 2007, it was reported that a velociraptor specimen from southern Mongolia had 6 quill knobs in its ulna. This finding suggests that Velociraptor had feathers, which challenges the notion that larger, flightless raptors lost their feathers due to increased body size. Additionally, researchers pointed out that quill knobs are rarely found in modern flightless bird species. The presence of these knobs in Velociraptor, which is believed to have been flightless because of its relatively large size and short forelimbs, indicates that the ancestors of Dromaeosaurids were capable of flight. This implies that Velociraptor and other large members of this family may have become secondarily flightless. However, it is also possible that the large wing feathers seen in Velociraptor's ancestors served purposes beyond flight. The feathers of the flightless Velociraptor could have been utilized for display, for covering nests during brooding, or for enhancing speed and thrust while running up slopes. Studies of the Velociraptor's endocranium reveal its capability to perceive and hear a broad spectrum of sound frequencies, approximately 2000 to 4000 Hz, enabling it to track its prey effortlessly. Additionally, these examinations reinforce the idea that this dromaeosaur was a nimble and quick predator. Fossil findings that imply Velociraptor engaged in scavenging also suggest it was an opportunistic and predatory creature, consuming carrion during periods of drought or famine, particularly if it was in poor health or based on its age. Velociraptor fossils have been found across Asia, but specifically China, Mongolia, and Kyrgyzstan. In 2020, researchers re-examined the maxillae of various dromaeosaurs, concluding that most Asian and North American species differ in snout morphology and ecological strategies. They found the upper jaw to be a reliable indicator of premaxillar shape and overall snout structure. For instance, many Asian species, like velociraptors, have elongated snouts, indicating a feeding strategy suited for capturing small, fast prey. In contrast, most North American dromaeosaurs, particularly dromaeosaurs, have a robust and deep maxillary structure. In 2022, predictive modeling framework estimated jaw muscle parameters and bite forces of several extinct archosaurs based on skull widths and phylogenetic relationships. Velociraptor was found to have a bite force of 304 newtons, lower than other dromaeosaurids such as Dromaeosaurus at 885 newtons and Deinonychus at 706 newtons. The Velociraptor was somewhat warm-blooded, as it needed a considerable amount of energy for hunting. Modern creatures that have feathery or furry coats, similar to those of the Velociraptor, are generally warm-blooded because these coverings serve as insulation. Nevertheless, the rates of bone growth in dromaeosaurids and certain early birds indicate a more moderate metabolism when compared to most contemporary warm-blooded mammals and birds. The kiwi shares anatomical similarities with dromaeosaurids, including feather type, bone structure, and even the narrow structure of the nasal passages, which is often a crucial indicator of metabolism. As a highly active, albeit specialized, flightless bird, the kiwi maintains a stable body temperature and has a relatively low resting metabolic rate, making it an excellent model for understanding the metabolism of primitive birds and dromaeosaurids. The velociraptors are not the only inhabitants of this almost desolate wasteland. Oviraptor. An omnivorous oviraptorid. In 2010, a hypothesis suggesting that oviraptorids practiced shell crushing was dismissed, as such animals typically have broad crushing teeth. Instead, the pointed dentary bones indicate they had a sharp-edged beak for shearing food. While the front of the dentary might allow some crushing, this area is small and not the jaw's primary function. Most oviraptorids were found in arid or semi-arid sediments, suggesting they did not primarily eat mollusks. Researchers noted similarities between oviraptorids and dicynodonts, such as short, deep, toothless mandibles and elongated openings. Modern animals with similar jaw structures include parrots and tortoises, which have tooth-like projections. Thus, oviraptorids likely had a diet mainly of plant material, adapted for processing xerophytic vegetation in their dry habitats. However, in 2018, some paleontologists supported the crushing jaw hypothesis, noting that oviraptorids' robust jaws suggest a strong bite similar to parrots, indicating a frugivorous diet that included nuts and seeds. Oviraptor fossils have been found in China and Kyrgyzstan. In 2019, researchers proposed the thermoregulatory contact incubation theory based on oviraptorid nests, offering a comprehensive reconstruction of the clutch architecture. They observed that adult oviraptorid specimens found near the nest were not necessarily incubating the eggs, instead, they could be females in the act of laying eggs. Additionally, the multi-ring structure of the clutch hindered adequate heat transfer from the parent to the inner rings of eggs. Typically, an oviraptorid nest was constructed as a gently sloping mound with a well-organized design. The eggs were likely colored and arranged in pairs, with each pair forming 3 to 4 elliptical rings. Since the parent likely operated from the center of the nest, this area was free of eggs. Young and colleagues concluded that the nesting behavior of oviraptorids was so distinctive that it lacks modern counterparts, suggesting that studying oviraptorid reproduction may not provide the best insights into the evolution of bird reproductive strategies. Nevertheless, the team could not determine whether the juvenile oviraptor specimen had hatched from the nest associated with the holotype. The oviraptor is estimated to measure between 5.2 and 6.6 feet in length, with a weight that varies from 73 to 88 pounds. Although the holotype is missing much of the posterior part of the skeleton, it is probable that the oviraptor possessed 2 robust hind limbs, each terminating in 3 functional toes, with the first toe being vestigial, along with a relatively short tail. Evidence from related oviraptorids shows that the arms were adorned with long feathers, and the tail concluded with a pygostyle, which is recognized for supporting a feather fan. Two velociraptors lead the group to scout for food. Fortunately, their meal isn't too far off. The velociraptors are highly effective hunters due to their unique foot structure. Their foot anatomy includes a metatarsus with 3 metatarsals, the first of which is reduced in size. They have 4 digits with large unguals, including a small dew claw on the first digit. The second digit, which is elevated off the ground, is particularly specialized, allowing the velociraptor to move using only the third and fourth digits. This digit features a large, sickle-shaped claw, over 2.6 inches long, used for capturing and holding prey. The hunt has concluded, yet the tale of survival continues on.